What's up, guys? I'm Adriana Maya, and I'm back with another episode of Spliffs and Giggles, brought to you by the Red Eye District. I have Cassie Lenoir joining me today. She's been in the adult industry for a year and a half, and I mean, look at how fucking hot she is. How lucky are we?
I'm blushing.
So, you got in after COVID. We got to jump right into this. What convinced you to dive into the adult industry, girl?
This is the number one question I always get. I was working a normal ass job. So I was working
Stop.
retail management actually, a coffee shop. I can't say the coffee shop,
Yeah,
but
but that's okay. It's okay.
and I had just broken up with my ex, and it kind of fucked me up a little
Yeah,
bit. And I
mhm.
had a friend who was in the industry, and he'd been trying to convince me ever since like OnlyFans was a thing, but I was
Yeah.
always in a relationship.
Right. Gotta respect it.
Gotta respect the
Right.
relationship, right? And then I wasn't in a relationship, and it
You're
fucked me
like
up so bad, and I told myself I was never gonna love again, basically. So I said, "Fuck it, I might as well
right.
just do it." I'm sick of the 9 to 5,
Yeah.
very stressful.
Yes.
So I said, "Fuck it," and I did it, and my first scene was with Jack Slayer.
Amazing. Okay, so what I my coming in story, I got to work with a heavy hitter like that too. And I never get to talk to girls that have someone like that. What was that? Because
Yeah,
the thing is, I know what it's like to go on set and you're nervous your first time on set, and then you see the guy that you're working with.
and you're like
Oh my, was
yeah.
that were you excited, butterflies? Were you nervous? Because that thing is
I think
huge.
I was more nervous of being on camera than anything because 'cause I'd always been kinda camera
Mhm.
shy. The
Gotcha.
dicks never phased me because then after Jack Slayer, they made
Yeah.
Day Ski Dread, so it's like
Oh my god.
that was like
You came out with the biggest
boom,
line.
boom, boom. No, but, like, that was I was okay with the
Oh,
size because I had
amazing.
an ex who was
Mhm.
pretty well endowed, so I was
Right,
kind of used to it at that point.
right, and that's honestly being on camera and taking a big dick like that, it takes a lot. If you
It
gotta be
does
able to
you gotta
focus,
focus, you still have to worry about all, like, the angles and stuff,
Yeah,
but
right.
no, I love it, but yeah, so that didn't faze me, it was more like being on camera, like, "Oh, I don't wanna look bad on camera" type
Right,
thing,
right.
but now here we are.
That's so cool. Okay, so 3 heavy hitters back to back. Did that set you up a little bit for some disappointment? Because not that having different penis size is terrible. It's actually great, especially if you're shooting a lot. I like
Mhm.
variety. I like to experience people for who they are. But sometimes if you go from dread to someone else, you might be a little
Mm.
disappointed. Have you had
Mm.
any of that?
No disappointment, actually. I work
Mhm.
with all penis sizes, but my fan
Yes.
base is primarily they know me for like I guess you could call me a size queen. I hate that word. And then
You're like
BBs.
an inadvertent size queen.
Yeah,
They
but
just kind of gave it.
And I'll do anything. And I
Mhm.
actually worked with a guy recently and he was nowhere near dread and he was like, "Honestly, after seeing your dread tape,
Right.
I'm really surprised to find out that you're hella tight." He's like, "Is this genetic? Is your mom that way?" And I said, "Don't you ever ask me
Yeah.
that question
Here's the
again."
thing. Guys forget. And we're like, anatomy is very important. You
Mhm.
guys should really take it. Fucking some dude with a big dick isn't really gonna fuck up your pussy.
No.
Having babies is what you should probably worry about, if
I mean,
anything.
for
But other
sure.
than that,
I would
you're
say
good.
it's like a muscle too, like it
Mhm.
bounces back. You
It
do
is,
your
it
little
works back.
Kegels and
Yeah.
stuff, you're
Literally, it
done.
just takes a little bit after you have a
Mhm.
baby. You'll be fine. So taking different dicks, we're gonna
What
be fine.
we're
We
fine.
the issue is we put on a show,
Mhm.
and so they think that it's
We're
a
absolutely
bigger deal
destroyed,
than
yeah.
it is. So that's kind of our fault. I think it's sometimes I think that's us
I think it's well, honestly,
actually.
I just think it's men in general and just their
Mhm.
preconceived notions about, like you said, not knowing about the female anatomy. Silly
And
men.
that's not your fault. We know how the school systems are. They're terrible.
Yeah.
We're fucked,
We'll educate you
right?
eventually.
Come to mommy.
Come to mommy.
Now, you're young, you're hot, but we see them,
Uh
they're there. Have you already been put in the MILF category?
I have shot 3 scenes for Team Skeet in the MILF category. Funnily enough, my fans fucking hate when I shoot MILF.
Stop,
They're
do they?
they're like, "You're too young." Like, my everyone always
Right.
thinks based on my face that I'm way
Yes.
younger
Yeah.
than I am.
Totally agree. Totally
And
agree.
I think it's because my body is more mature, I have more curves, that everyone always wants to put me in that
You
MILF
know what
category.
you can be like, think of it more like hot wife. That's
Yeah,
what I try to go to if I get, but I'm like hot wife,
hot wife.
because it is, you are banging, and MILFs, nothing's wrong with MILFs, but when you're young, actually
And they
young,
don't
it's
have any
like,
kids, so it's hard
huh?
to put yourself
Yeah,
in
it
that
just doesn't
group.
really make sense. We get it in the porn world, things are skewed. If you're
Mhm.
not teeny tiny. They're
teeny
like,
tiny.
"You're a beautiful
Like,
MILF
you're a
now."
beautiful MILF.
You're welcome. Now, because you get that title a little bit, have you, like, played into it? Do you do any of your own content, maybe doing some MILFy stuff?
I've actually never done any content for my personal platforms.
Stop.
I don't know, I just feel like it's just so against, and like I said, my fan base does not like it.
Right, right,
They
right.
would prefer me, they like theme scenes, like, my
Got
top
you,
selling
got you.
scene is a tennis theme, soccer theme,
Oh,
like shit
yeah.
like that, like
That's cool.
or
No, like,
like,
very
"Oh, I
creative
met
stuff.
this person at the gym," type shit.
Yeah.
But as a MILF, I just already know it would not sell very well for me.
You know, it's good to know what sells for you. I feel
Mhm.
like we kind of like, get in these like creative ruts sometimes and you just like try
Try
stuff and see
things.
what hits for you.
Trial and error.
Is that how you got into do like the fantasy play and stuff? Because setting up a whole scene with like a soccer theme and stuff like that, that's a lot of work,
Well,
girl.
it's actually so simple. It's really all in the outfit. So I did
Yeah.
my first fantasy scene like that was my tennis scene. And we went all out. Like we went to a tennis court. We filmed the intro there. We didn't fuck
Oh,
on the
okay.
tennis court.
I was literally gonna be so
No,
excited.
no, we didn't. And then
It's
we
still
went back
hot,
afterwards.
guys.
Like I had a tennis outfit. I had the racket. I
Right.
was hitting balls out there.
I
And
love that. I love that so
but it
much.
sold very well. So I'm like,
Hmm.
honestly, what they really just like more than anything was the outfit. So then for
Yeah.
future scenes, if I even have the outfit on, I could have a prologue like, "Oh my god, he fucked me on the way home from soccer
Right,
practice," type
right,
shit. Like, it doesn't
right.
have to be
Gotcha.
super crazy as
Yeah.
long as you're setting the scene with words,
Yes, they
boom,
like
they're
that.
in.
That's hot.
But
I
I did
like
like doing the full out, like, tennis scene, that was fun for me. It
yeah.
was super fun.
Honestly, it is fun, and I get a lot of people are very wary of doing their own content and stuff. It's so smart though because your fans get to see like your creativity and like shit that you're into,
And
or
what
you
you
can take
like,
like
yeah.
suggestions. Have you gotten any like crazy requests in doing your own content now that they know that, you're open to some stuff?
I think this is like a taboo subject,
Yeah.
because I do primarily work with Black males.
Mhm.
I get a lot of customers that want, like, race play, and that's, like, a hard
Yeah.
no for me because it's such a fine line, you
Yeah.
know? So
No, it
that's, like,
is,
the weirdest
honestly.
thing that I mean, of course, you have
No,
weird stuff like armpit.
for sure, for sure. But race play, it is a hard thing because if you're comfortable with it and if the person you're shooting's comfortable with it, there's always lines to it.
But then that shit's out there forever
Right.
too,
That's
and
my
it's
thing.
it's out of my personality, like, I
Hmm.
would never say some of the things they want me to say during sex, so it's beyond my
Right,
personality.
right.
Even my character's personality, like, Cassie is a character,
Yeah.
of course.
See, but at least you're sure of
Oh,
that. You haven't
100%
gotten into a
sure.
situation where you're like, maybe,
Maybe if I just do
and then you
this,
regret
no.
it, So that's good.
I'm
At
too
least
smart
you
for
have that.
that.
Some people don't figure that out until a couple years in and they
Mhm.
realize the type of scenes that they shot they are not proud of.
Yeah.
So I think that's fucking great, dude,
I
honestly.
think that was the benefit of me starting later
Yeah.
in life was that my brain is very fully developed. Like, I
Mhm.
know I know what I won't do and I know what
Yes.
I will do.
Yes. No, and it matters. It really does matter. As someone who got in at 18, I'm like, not that I regret it necessarily, because
Mhm.
it's been a great experience for me. But would I wait until 21 if I had that? Yeah, absolutely. At
I
least
feel like you
21.
probably
Like,
had so many pressures from
for
just
sure.
people all around you,
Yeah.
because even I felt the
Yeah.
pressures, but I had the ability to say no. I feel like young females,
Right.
we
Right.
don't learn that capability until
No,
mid-20s.
and you don't even realize you're in those situations
Mhm.
until, later
You're
and you're
looking
like,
back,
that was kind of
"Huh,
weird,
that
actually.
was
Like,
compromising."
yeah. So I think that, that whole argument people have about like, oh, you should get in at this age. I'm like, you should wait a little bit. I
Wait
think it's
wait a
great
little longer.
because I feel like you're enjoying it. You have, your set boundaries, what
Mhm.
you're willing to try for now. And you got a good head on your shoulders. I think that's important in the porn
No, it
industry.
it
It's
definitely
sex.
is, because people will try to push you
Hmm.
to your limits, and it's part of, like, I don't know, it's like the fetish of it, like, they wanna see you
Yeah.
absolutely
Yes. Yes.
can't even say the word, annihilated, but
Uh-huh.
you don't wanna give it to them right away, because
No.
then what you can't go
Mhm.
back from that. Now you've already done everything,
Yes.
that's all you got.
Exactly. I have a lot of friends who, we have this long-standing debate. Do you jump in porn and do everything? right? Do you give them anal? Do you give them DP? Are you
Mhm.
just like that girl, or do you like ease yourself in? And there's so many girls that are successful on like
Yeah.
opposite ends of the spectrum. Where would you say you fall in?
I think if you're gonna jump in and do everything, you have to be doing that stuff in your personal life for it to be successful
Boom.
because
Yes.
you like it.
Yes.
For me, I actually am vanilla in my personal life, vanilla as fuck.
Are
So,
you?
like, I haven't done anal. I'm an anal virgin. I've never even had a finger in my ass.
Stop, not
No
even a
one's
plug.
nope, nope. No one's ever ate my ass. I've never ate anyone's ass.
Girl.
So just like
Oh my God.
very, very, very,
I
very
love
vanilla.
that.
But I
Hmm.
did find out since doing porn because my past relationships have been just categorizing them as good sex, like vanilla.
Right, right.
Um, shoot, lost my train of thought. It's the weed working.
Yay!
um, but I have found out that I like rough sex, like slap
Yeah.
around a little bit,
Okay,
gag.
let's go down the
Okay,
list. What choking,
love.
spit play, maybe like spit in your mouth or on you. Some
So
people like
it
that.
depends on the person, but if it's with
I
that right
agree. I
person,
agree.
absolutely in my mouth, on my face,
Love it.
wherever, like love it.
Slapping on the face.
I love slapping on the face. That's like the number one thing that I've learned. That shit turns me
Dude,
on.
me too. I'm like, I want it to shock me.
Yes, I
Like, I
was
want to
like,
be
"What?
like,
Oh,
Yay. Oh, I love her. Yes. Now, because you found out you like this in your personal life, have you opened up to doing some of this rougher stuff in scenes?
So I actually found out that I like this in scenes first. Like none of
No.
my personal life experiences have
Ooh.
I think I've had one and it was very recent and it was after I had already tried it in the porn world.
Right, right.
And I was like, fuck, I remember when he first slapped me. I was like, first I was taken aback because we never discussed it. And then I was kind of like, oh, I kind of like
Right.
that.
See, I like that you were like, hold on.
What just
Okay.
happened? Let me
Yeah,
think about
right,
it.
right, right. Let me
Shit, I
process
like
that really
that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good to talk about boundaries, obviously, but I love that you enjoyed it when
Hmm.
it happened because I feel like it unlocks like a little and you're like ding,
Ding,
like that
ding,
little
ding.
light bulb
Yeah.
moment and you're like, "Oh,
Oh.
okay." So now that you're into kinky sex, have you bought one of those little, BDSM kits, the little starter packs,
No, I haven't because the people that I work with that are, like, into that stuff that I can
Yeah,
experiment with, they
right.
already have it. So I
Oh,
just, like
they got
yeah,
kits,
they
don't they?
they got
And
the
they are
kids.
not starter
They got all the
kits.
kids.
That is so cool. For out of all the people that you've worked with, and it could be content, mainstream, do you have any, like, favorite performers that you've been able to get your hands on?
Yes, actually, he was one of the first performers I worked with in Dallas area, and his name is Zaddy 2 Times.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite. Like we're same page about
Mhm.
everything that we like to do. He was actually the first person to slap me in a scene, and I
Hot.
was like, "Fuck." But like
Hot.
our scenes are always fire. So he's probably my favorite. I've also shot quite
Right.
a few with Damian Daysky. He's also probably
Mhm.
one of my favorites. He's just a cool guy. We're from
Yeah,
like
no,
the
he looks
same
so
area in
good.
Illinois.
Yeah, that's fire.
Hmm.
See, you always find people. You
You
always
find your
do.
people.
Right, you do. You really do. It
Hmm.
feels kind of lucky too, especially if you guys like work good together.
Hmm.
Have you had anyone that you like vibe so well together? Usually this happens with girls where you vibe too well and you're like, we can't fuck, but we can be like friends.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's where I had to set a boundary because I actually, when I first moved to this area, I was talking to someone and basically dating them at
oh,
that point.
gotcha, gotcha.
And then I realized I had to set that boundary for myself that I cannot date someone
Yeah,
like in this industry. It's
yeah.
just too hard, too fucked up in the mind.
It is rough. It's rough as hell. I think people find like tricks in dating coworkers.
Hmm.
For me, uh-uh. I can't date someone who's in the industry. I can date someone who's out of it, but someone who's in it, I
I'm the same way. And they're like, it's double standards because I'm like, I cannot physically watch you fucking someone else
yeah.
and be okay with that. But then it's like, I expect you to
That's
do that.
so and that's just because 'cause I'm a bitch. Like, I don't think but I think I could watch someone fuck someone else. My issue is I know how not all male talents are like this, but I know how the guys in the industry are. I know how they
Yeah.
move. So I'm like,
And if they're moving this way
hell
with
no.
you, they've
Yeah.
moved that way with
Hell
other girls
no.
before.
Yeah. You have one horror story with one guy in the industry, and then you'll never date one again.
That's
Like,
all we need, that's all we
yeah,
need, that's
but
all we
it's
need.
fine because it also keeps you focused on your work, and, like, it
Work,
makes you,
money,
like
because of the times where I have been so preoccupied with someone that like that guy,
yes,
I felt like my
yes.
work did suffer because I didn't want to work with anyone else then.
Exactly. See, and being with someone in the industry, it's a setup because you get
Mhm.
like in that weird paradox of you're almost jealous, but you're not because you're doing, it's like
Yeah,
fucked up.
and
You
you
have
wanna
like,
be a good girlfriend, so you don't wanna work with
yes,
anyone else, but then
yes.
they're still working with other
Right.
people
And it's
because
then it's manipulation if you let the
yeah,
light. So I'm like, can't do it, can't
gotta
do it.
step
See, but
that's why I
you
just
know
don't
it.
date right now, I just take
Mhm.
myself out of all of that.
But your work is showing for it. You're killing it right
Honestly,
now.
yeah.
Now, you've been putting out a lot. You post on Instagram.
Mhm.
Like, how is it keeping up with like all these new waves of content? Because getting in and shooting and then finding out you got all these damn apps and sites,
Yeah.
like, how is that managing it for you? Because you're working a lot, girl.
When I first started, Twitter was the only thing. That was like my
Right,
thing
right,
that I did. I was successful on Twitter, so that's what I did. But then the algorithm switched a little bit. So then I'm like, I need to find a different app to like capitalize on. And I
right.
had been scared of Instagram because I just heard so many horror stories of like you build
Yeah.
up, gets deleted type shit.
Yep.
And that did happen to me once.
Oh,
Um,
they got you already.
yeah, they got me. I
Bastards.
was like it was only like 30K.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, they got me and couldn't get it back. They were quoting me like, because you can get the accounts back, but it's
Yeah,
very expensive, very pricey,
it
and it's not
is.
guaranteed.
It
But now I
thank you.
feel like I'm finally understanding Instagram and like reels and stuff.
Yes.
And then I do things like this. Like this is
Yeah.
honestly my favorite part. Like I like to do little podcasts,
Yay.
things like this, because people can learn me more for my personality versus
Yes,
just like a
yes.
body.
No, and it matters. I have so many people that are like, I found you from your camming days. I cammed in like 2015, 2016. And I'm like, oh shit. Like,
That's a
okay. But
while.
that's when I was like talking to people, like
Yeah.
just one on one. So I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. So that is so real. Your fans, granted, obviously they want to see us get off and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But if they're like a real, a big fan
A
of
real
yours, they
fan.
do want
And
that.
they love when these things come out, like, they're like, "Let me know when you do another,
Oh,
podcast or
I
another
love
interview," and I'm
that.
like, "Of course."
Has it shocked you the amount of love you get and like the big fans you get? The ones that are like really riding with you.
Honestly, yes, because I've always been of a humble mindset, so
Yeah.
for people to follow me through this whole experience is just mind-boggling to me,
Right.
and then having people, like, even just recognize who I am, I'm like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" I have people
That's
that I grew
cool.
up with are like, "You're famous now," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. Don't ever say that to me. I'm not
Okay, but
famous."
wait, can I have you stand up for a minute? Because when she says recognize me, I'm like, wait, you would recognize her.
You would recognize
Girl.
Ah! You want me to
Right?
turn around?
Yes, please. I mean, come on. You're gonna tell me you're gonna be like, wait a minute.
Who
Like,
is that?
right? No, and then it's gonna be smile like, "Oh, Cassie,
Cassie!
Cassie, like that's her, Cassie."
Cassie. I know the titties are of recent too, like, they've been
Stop.
and
What?
they're all natural, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
my ass has always been big, but my
Yeah.
titties didn't start getting bigger
So cool.
until, like, a few not even a few months ago, but my fans notice it. They'll
Yeah.
notice changes in my body before I do, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Damn, y'all really fuck with me like
It's
that, like,
cool.
y'all pay
It's cool
attention."
though. They're like, you look like a woman.
Yeah, they're
I'm
like,
like,
"You look thick, I like it," and I'm like, "Okay."
yeah. No, you did mention all natural, and not that we mind body modifications, but
Mhm.
how do you feel about how it's kind of affecting the industry now? Everyone is kind of doing something in some form of another,
I
you know?
I'm all for body modifications.
Mhm.
I've had thoughts of them
Mhm.
since joining the industry, specifically since moving to Miami. It's more of a
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's mainly, I think it's good for self confidence.
Yeah.
I think if it makes you confident when you go on camera,
Yeah.
do it.
Mhm.
Are they dangerous? Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think whatever makes you the most confident in yourself, all for it.
Right for
It's
it.
still on the table whether I'm gonna get it done eventually. My
You
fans are
know?
like,
Me
stay all
too.
natural. But then you hear stories of girls who
Yeah.
went from they looked good before,
Mhm.
then they had the body modifications and they do even better in our line of work now.
So, and you do. You just do make more money.
Mhm.
The downside I say to that is like you'll have your fans that like were kind of riding with you. You will lose some of
We'll
them
lose some of
because they're
them.
like, and that's only if they're like,
They're only with you for
right,
that purpose. Like, oh my
like,
God,
but
all
they're a fan,
natural.
you have a connection with them. They'll usually
They'll
ride with
accept
you.
it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll ride with you
That's what I'm
still.
like. I get it. The
Mhm.
argument, I get it, but I'm like, you do make more money. So if you want to. fuck it. Like,
Mhm.
I would just say do research, like, really
Of
do
course,
research
of
because
course.
I
You don't
feel
wanna go
so
to a
bad.
botched
Yeah, and
doctor.
then you have to
And
get it fixed. That's a
and then you
nightmare.
just end up there's really no fixing it because you just end up looking more like
Tighter,
yeah,
scrunched.
yeah, you know what
But
I
it's true.
mean.
But
Yeah.
it is true. So I'm like, find a good doctor. But no, I agree. I'm debating it too. I'm like,
But you're gorgeous. Like,
oh my god, thank
people
you.
always tell us, like, we don't need it, but it's
Yeah,
more of, like, a
right. It
mental
is. It
thing.
is. And I'm like, when I hit 30, maybe I'll just do it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like,
happy
yeah,
birthday.
fuck
Like,
it. Happy birthday to
surprise.
me. When I start to really look at myself, I'm like, "Damn, I need this shit." That's probably when I'll do it.
Yeah, fucking right. Oh my god.
I've been coasting. I've been
Right.
coasting up until this point.
So a bit of a jump, but you are based out of Miami. That's where you started. I mean, what's it been like being in LA more to shoot? Because it's a different dynamic, girl.
It's
It's very
very
laid back
different.
here.
I personally hate LA.
Stop,
Um,
really?
love the people, but like
Yeah.
it's very hard to distinguish when you're in this. You're susceptible to multiple different personalities of people. What I
Yeah.
have found is working in LA and really Miami,
Yeah.
you really have to look out for yourself because
Yes.
there's a lot of snaky ass people. Like they will
Yeah.
ride with you just to use you for what you're worth
Yes. And
and
then
then
bye.
discard. Yeah.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
really have to be careful about who gets close to you.
Yeah.
So I research everyone before I work with them.
Yeah.
Like on
Yep.
OnlyFans
Yep.
especially, like if I have
It's
the choice
smart.
to work with you, I'm not gonna work with just anyone.
Okay, so when people hit you up to work, because this is my big thing. If you like don't follow me, if we've never interacted, I get like really thrown off when people
Mhm.
like ask me to work. Cause I'm like, where are you coming
Yeah,
from?
where
Like
are you
what
coming from? Like, yeah, I will say, I might get some hate for this, but I feel like if men are reaching out to you
mm-hmm.
or even females to work with you,
Mm-hmm.
they're a fan first. So they've seen your work and they're
Yeah.
like, damn, I like her, I like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they see the opportunity as well.
Right.
So
Right.
that's I don't know.
No, that's a good way to look at it. Cause I genuinely am always like, we don't know each other. Like I'm
Yeah.
always so thrown off. And I get it, like not to be, but I'm like, I've been in for a while.
Mhm.
But even then, I'm like, we don't follow each other. I don't
Mhm.
fucking
I feel like
understand.
that's the thing that you should do first, like, as a male, like, follow the girl first.
Yeah.
That puts a good foot in the door, like, "Hey, I really am interested with you," but so
Right,
many of these
right.
people play around with the follow backs,
Oh my
and I'm
gosh,
like, "You're
yeah, I
too
can't.
prideful for that, it's way too
I'm like, we're
prideful.
just working. Like, I don't know
We're
what's
just fucking
happening.
working."
Now, if people hit you up, what are some things like bullet points you want them to hit to like reach out to actually make you consider it?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna take a look at your content because males primarily are the ones who are in charge of filming. So
Mm,
I don't want to be cast in a bad light. So I'm gonna make sure you film right.
right, right.
And I'm not gonna work with someone who doesn't fit the genre that sells for me. So I love
Yeah,
BWC. I've
yeah,
dated white men before. But I've
yeah,
shot a few scenes and it sells terribly for me. So
yeah,
am I gonna shoot with white men in the
yeah,
future? No, because that's my wasted time, wasted money. So I'm gonna shoot with what's going to sell for me. And I feel like so many people take offense, like, oh my God, like you're not big enough,
yeah.
etc. It's not it. It's just that I
Girl,
know it's not gonna sell.
I've been in for as long as I've been in,
Mhm.
and people have bitched at me for so long about why I don't shoot with black guys that often. And I'm like, it does not make me money. Like, it
Yeah.
does not, because
And
I'm black. They don't want to see me with a
because it's an
black dude. Like,
interracial thing.
yeah,
And
I'm
that's
like,
what I
they
say.
want to see me with a white dude or even
Interracial.
a brown person that looks
Yeah.
like me. I'm like, they don't. Like, they literally don't. Like, it
Yeah.
does not sell for me. And I don't get it. I'm like,
They always think that we're
whatever. Like,
racist or something. And
yeah,
I'm like,
I'm like, I don't know what
not in
to
the
tell you.
slightest.
Like,
It's
I know,
just
like, I'll fuck everyone.
I
Honestly,
fuck
I'm down.
same. I
Like,
would fuck
we
everyone,
could
but
do it
it just doesn't make
together.
sense.
Literally, literally. I did a DP and they were like, why didn't you have two white guys? Why didn't you have two white guys? I was like, I'm getting DP'd. Like, are we
Yeah.
really focused?
Yeah.
Like, do you have any thing that's on your no list for now that could possibly on your yes list soon?
Mm, so the things that I haven't done that my fans ask for all the time, we mentioned it earlier, anal, of course.
Right, right,
Probably will not see that anytime soon from
right.
me. Just
Which is fine.
gangbang is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Holding out for that for a little bit, have to have the right opportunity, but I am very open to it.
Love that.
But I wouldn't just do it like for anyone, like it'd have to make sense monetarily because
Agree.
this is a
Yeah.
job. Like that's
Yeah.
what some people are like.
Doing a gangbang's intense. There's so
Yeah,
much happening.
I think I would love it though.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting worshipped, right? You're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Ah!
But I feel like I would get overwhelmed. Like the
Yeah.
amount of like, I can't grab all. Someone grab my feet. Like
Someone, yeah, someone do
someone
something.
fuck my feet.
I've done DP for professional porn, but I've
Yum.
never done or just even not DPM, excuse me, boy girl for
Oh, gotcha.
professional porn, but I've
But
never
it's all
done it on my
vaginal when we
platform.
say
Yeah,
it
all
like that,
vaginal,
guys.
oral, vaginal. But I've never done it on my OnlyFans page, and that's something that I want to do in
Oh,
the near future, in the
yeah.
very near future.
Mm, I've
Um,
never done a boy girl that wasn't anal related.
mhm.
I feel like that'd be way more fun if it was just all like vaginal and oral.
Vaginal
Like,
or
oh,
just
you're
switch,
like just
switch,
getting
switch.
spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? They can like Eiffel Tower you? Is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly.
Where
High
you drop
five.
down and you get your ego on and they yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
No, I think it is. Isn't it
That's
where
a
like
fun
one's
term.
hitting from the back, the other one is getting head, and then
And
they're
then
high
they
five?
yeah, and they like hold hands
Yeah.
and they can kiss.
Probably they probably wouldn't, but they could if they really
Right?
wanted
If
to.
they wanted to, but they probably wouldn't.
That's called the
The
London
London
Bridge.
Bridge, there we
Damn,
go.
we're learning
See?
shit.
Right? I was like, it's something fun. I have a question, and this has just been on my mind. What's a dirty Sanchez? Does anyone know? Because I know that's like an old term,
Fuck.
and I saw it in Deuce Bigelow, and as a kid, and I've always wanted to know what a dirty Sanchez is.
You know what's crazy? I've heard it, but I
What's a
have
dirty
no idea.
Sanchez?
Dirty booty when you have a mustache. Dirty senses.
I would have gone so many other ways other than that. I had no
Oh,
idea.
I'm so scared to ask this other one.
Oh god.
So a rusty trombone is like, I am assuming that's when it comes out of a dirty butt, and then you blow it.
Is that right?
You put it on somebody else's lips.
How does he know all this stuff?
He's a sick fuck.
Oh my god.
I've always wondered myself when I Googled
So
it.
you Googled it. We just don't wonder hard
Oh
enough.
my god. I guess yeah, I could have Googled it, but I think I was scared to know, honestly.
Honestly,
The
what's
dirty
gonna pop
Sanchez
up?
is really funny, but the rusty trombone is very foul.
I'd never even heard
and
of a
that
rusty
like upset
trombone.
me. You've never heard of that?
Now I've
You
learned
said
two
a
things
rusty
today.
trombone, a dirty Sanchez. God, I'm trying to think of the other. I saw it in Deuce Bigelow. That's how I know. Like it stuck with me for forever. Well, we learned something today.
We
That
learned a
was
few things
that was
today.
nice. That was lovely. Wow, Cassie. I mean, that was like I didn't expect that. The dirty booty was not like
That
cool.
I know.
Disgust.
Disgust.
Do you have anyone that's on your hit list that you would like to get your hands on that you just haven't been able to yet?
Um, honestly, no. Like I went so hard in my first year, and I
That's
hit.
good though.
Yeah,
That's fucking great.
but then it's like, what do you do now? Like, so you just have to do repeats essentially.
Well-
Or like if people enter the industry, like that's the next thing.
You get a work husband,
A work
or you
husband.
do your own series where you're like finding new guys for the industry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Honestly, that's what I never realized. Like when Jack Slayer found me, I only had like
Mhm.
20 followers on Twitter. And I'm like, he's looking for these girls. But now I understand
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Because he's already been with everyone
No, and
else.
it's great because if you build up your name then too, and then he can resell that,
Is this a free
down the
roll-up
line.
line?
It is. He can resell that down the line and he can mark it as Cassie Lenoir's first
Or
scene, like
he's
first
marketing
BBC.
marketing genius. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that is. So I
Mhm.
used to not work with anyone who wasn't popping like that on Twitter
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
it made sense. Like if I'm gonna fuck someone,
Right,
I
right.
want it to get
For girls, it honestly does for a
Mhm.
while.
People are always like, "Oh, clout chaser." Well, I'm not
No.
stupid. This is business
No,
first
and
and
it needs to be
foremost.
beneficial. And the thing is, for the new guys, it's always beneficial for them. You're fucking girls, like duh.
Yeah.
For us, it's not. It's for what sells for my fan base, and that just is what it is.
Yeah.
That's I think one of the big differences between the guys and the girls in the industry that they don't know until they've had a bit under their belt, and then they're like,
Mhm.
oh, which is why guys like Jax, J Mac, and stuff are so loved because they're very, they're up to it. They know
Yeah.
we are very beneficial and stuff.
Yes, and
So.
that yeah, they see beyond just a follower base type
Mhm.
thing.
Absolutely. No, and going to LA Girl, you get to work with some different companies that are
Yeah.
down to do like
I've
some
actually professionally only worked with I think one LA company. So
stop it.
I'll go for collabs. Like they'll fly
That's
me for
fire.
collabs.
But that's good because the possibilities are great. There's
Opening a new
the
door.
kink companies, there's all the oil, the BJ people, you go to Vegas. Oh, have you gone to Vegas yet?
Only to work like OnlyFans stuff. Like never like
I
I've
was gonna say.
specifically just Miami for the professional porn, like
No, for
Bang
content,
Bros.
Vegas is fire.
Yeah, no, I've worked with some of the best point of view people in
Oh,
Vegas.
you like
So
doing POV
I love
stuff.
POV.
But do you have any of those companies that you want to work with?
Honestly, the main ones on my list
Mhm.
are because I don't know until they come to me, I don't really know who they are unless it's super
Totally
mainstream. So
fine.
like
Yeah.
Brazzers, Blacked. Those
Right.
are like
Yeah.
my two that I would really love to work for,
Hell
but
yeah.
haven't got the opportunity yet.
Have you done Reality Kings before?
I just recently did Reality Kings for the
So
first
the
time.
good thing about that is Reality Kings, Brazzer, or all those big
They're all
companies,
mofos.
they're
Yeah.
all under their own, parent company.
Hmm.
So if you do well for one of them, the chances of them hiring
Hiring
you
you.
are very high. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's
Well, I
good.
thought
That's
I did
very
well in
good.
that scene. It was a crazy fucking scene. I don't think it's been released yet though. So
Something to look forward
something to
to.
look forward
Do you
to.
have any like scenes like that? Or how many would you say that you've shot that haven't been released yet? Because they'll hold them for a while. They
Yeah.
will.
So all my ones that I did, so I shot a lot when I first started. So that
Right,
was
right.
like October 2023 to December 2023. And then
Yes.
I was stagnant
Right.
until January of this year.
Well, but that's fine, honestly, because it was a very, very slow year last
Okay.
year. It was like terribly slow. And part of that is because a lot of the mainstream people are doing content like
Hmm.
solely now.
Well, I'm glad that it was slow for me because then I got to really hone into my content, which I always
Mhm.
had been, but it let me not just rely on, say, porn. I think it's bad to just rely on one stream of
Right,
income. But
right.
then since this year, I've shot a lot. I think in total, 4 scenes for Bang Bros. Not all of them
Yeah,
shot yet, but
fuck
they're
yeah.
coming out.
Right, right.
And then Reality Kings was this year as well. Hasn't been
Yes.
released.
Mhm.
I shoot one actually today.
Yes.
Um, I have to look at my thing that my agent sent me, but
Yeah.
one today, and then just a bunch of
So
small
cool.
companies. Oh, I've shot
It's
for
smart.
who are they? It's like a pro-am studio in New York. Freak Mob. Freak
Mhm.
Mob, yeah. So
I've
that's
shot for
been
them.
and that's
Very
all been
cool.
very recent. And I'm like, I think when I first started,
Right.
professional porn scared me more. So I didn't
Yeah.
care. I didn't really press my agent like that
Totally
because I didn't
understand.
care. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I love this shit now because I
Yeah.
got to figure out a lot more about
Yes.
myself.
I tell girls, I wish that because when I first got in, I was shooting mainstream, but I also jumped into doing camming like very fast.
Mhm.
So I was doing content, but it was for like the campsite, So, but still content. And so I wish that more girls had the option to like do content or like knew to do that because it makes you so much more comfortable and you figure out like what your
Yeah, and
style
what you
and
like is when I first started too, I was
yes.
so nervous to say what I
Yeah.
wanted. Like, no, this is
Right,
not
right.
gonna look good,
Right, because you
or
just wanna look good and you're
yeah.
like, "I don't
And
know
you
what I'm
want the scene to
doing."
sell too. And now I
Mhm.
realize directors value that because
Yes.
they want the scene to turn out well
Well,
too.
and it matters if it's tailored to the girl because unfortunately, for a lot of sites, obviously they have a direction for how they
Hmm.
want to have scenes to go, which is good. But if the girls are kind of, like nervous or
Yeah,
anything, it shows because you know that it's just boom, boom, boom
yeah.
instead of their personality shining. So I love that you had that
And that's
opportunity to
what I
like
think
build it.
my most recent scene with Bang Bros, that's what changed for me. Was
Ah,
like, fuck, my personality can show because I'm not so nervous about the rest of it.
yes,
Like I know
yes.
what is to be expected.
Right, and you're fine. It really matters. I'm like, you
It
gotta kind of
does.
watch yourself. But the issue is when you shoot for the companies, they get the footage, so you don't get
Hmm.
to watch it. When
Oh,
you're
I still
shooting your
see it.
own stuff,
Yeah.
I'm watching all of
I'm
it. I'm
watching all of
watching,
it. I wanna know what I look
right?
like,
I'm taking
okay?
notes.
I'm
Yeah.
taking notes, "Don't do this next time," or "Don't do your hair that way," or whatever.
Now, do you have any advice that you would give to a girl who maybe wants to get into doing content or mainstream, like you have, following in your footsteps?
I would say start content first because you'll get used to seeing yourself on camera. You also then know how to control your own money
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
work your way
Yes.
into porn, which I kinda did both at the same
Yeah.
time, and I felt like
Hmm.
because I didn't know about the business, and if I would've just done OnlyFans first, I would've known more about the
Hmm.
business, and then they tried to take advantage of me a little bit in the porn industry because they're like, "She doesn't know," because I was
Yep.
normal as fuck before,
Yep.
I didn't know any of
Yep.
this shit.
The thing is, you realize how much money you can make.
Mhm, and
And
then you
it's
don't sell
like,
yourself short, and when you
yes.
start to sell yourself short, your fans will realize that, like, that's why
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh my god, this is so much for a custom." I'm never gonna sell myself short, so if you don't pay it today, someone else is gonna pay it today. The second you start to sell
Yeah.
yourself short, then they'll never pay those other
Yeah.
prices.
No, it's so true. I tell girls, I'm like, there's some people who it works for them if they have a niche, if they want to do that, that's fine. It usually works for girls who aren't doing mainstream as well because they have
Mhm.
more time. But if you're doing mainstream and doing your own content, like really producing your own content, there's no reason you shouldn't charge the price you want to. You're
Yeah.
putting all the work
And it's your
into it.
time. At the end of
Like,
the day, it's your
yeah.
time.
I'm like, guys, it's a business. Like, what? I just the argument, it's like it dumbfounds
And
me.
for girls, we don't shoot as much as men. So men, you can charge a little less per scene because they can shoot multiple times
Yeah,
a day if they really wanted to.
yeah,
Girls, like I might do twice a week. That's a lot for me. Okay, two
yeah,
or three times a
yeah.
week. It's pushing it for Cassie.
Those trips that when you go to LA and they're like, we're gonna try and book you every day, and you're like,
I straight
okay,
up tell people I found out my
that's
mental
the,
capacity is
mm-hmm,
2 scenes. So like
mm-hmm.
within a 2 day period, like that's the most that I can do.
It's a lot because you want to do it right. You want to work for these companies and stuff, but these scenes are so intense on a
And
mainstream set. It's
you never know when
intense.
you're going into it how
No.
long. Like I've been on
Or
set
what you're gonna be
3 hours.
doing.
I've been on set for 10 hours. You really
Ooh.
never know.
Okay, so after your first 10-hour, like one of your first long days, did you have a point where you were like, I might just stick to content?
So actually, it was I love my team skeet scenes, but
Yeah.
I was booked. I was still living in Dallas, so I came to Miami and I had 3 scenes for team skeet, one after the other. I actually booked like a manatee tour that one of the days later at night because I thought that it would be done because every scene that I had
Right,
shot
right,
before,
right,
they
right.
were all 10-hour days, like
Yeah,
very long. And then I
yeah.
thought to myself, hmm. So
Mhm.
I actually stopped shooting
Yeah.
porn for a little bit
Mhm.
after that.
Those days will
Oof,
that yeah,
yeah, it
that'll make you
was
feel some type of
and
way.
they were, like, scripted, so you had to, like, memorize
Yes.
scripts.
See, and those I appreciate those because when you wanna do the features in porn, right,
Mhm.
in LA, really, they have you do a lot of scripts and stuff like that. So I appreciate those days because that's what it's like on those feature
Yeah.
sets. But if I'm getting off set
Mm.
of the feature set at like 3 p.m., why the fuck am I on set? Like that's
Yeah.
such a it drives me
Yeah,
crazy.
it
So
was
I totally get taking a break.
yeah, I needed a little break after that one. I'm
Mhm.
like, at least for when you're shooting your own content, you have complete control. If I wanna stop at this point, I will stop at that
Right,
point.
right. Thank you. I'm
It's
like, I've
beautiful.
never had an issue with anyone on a set that I'm doing content with, because it's content. We could just say something.
Yeah,
My thing, if you don't feel comfortable saying something to someone that like, you probably shouldn't even be working with them.
that's
Like, you should,
100% true.
because at no point should you be in an uncomfortable situation on your own set. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just like,
like you plan
no.
that for yourself, so you have to think of your boundaries.
Yes.
And I tell girls all the time, I'm like, if a guy's giving you weird energy over text, he's probably gonna give you weirdo energy in person. So
Yeah.
if you're feeling uncomfortable, maybe a phone
Yeah.
call first, and then
Right.
realize
Right.
like, oh, okay, it was just text. I'm
Yes.
vibing with him now. But
Right.
your first instinct as a woman, I swear to God, has
Mhm.
never lied to me.
Thank you. I'm
Never.
like, every person that I've ever been like, is definitely weird as hell in
Weirdest.
person. And then I'm like, okay, so I wasn't just being a
I
bitch.
wasn't just being
That's
a bitch.
cool.
That is
Like,
really how that
and
person
the thing is,
is.
I'm always high. As you see, I am fried all the time, guys. So I try to remember, especially at conventions, everyone's trying to be extra friendly. Everyone's trying to be
And they're
like,
playing their character too.
right.
Like,
But sometimes I'm like,
the fuck out of my
yeah,
face.
I'm like, I don't even think I could fuck you. I'm not even playing. Like,
No, yeah.
I'm like, I
I
can't.
think that too. I don't want you to be too overbearing, but I
Right,
haven't
right.
really even been to I've been to one convention,
Which one?
the Exotica
Oh,
in New
good one to start. No,
Jersey,
good one to start.
and I went literally for an hour. I didn't have a booth because I just
That's
wanted to
fine. No,
walk
that's
through.
fine. Good one to start. Genuinely, I would say the Exoticas are great because half of them are fan
Yeah, most
oriented,
of them,
and then the
yeah.
one here is us oriented,
Yeah.
business, agencies. Really, it's a marketing thing.
Mhm.
So when the one in Florida comes, definitely go to that one. That
I'm
one's nice.
actually getting a booth at the one in Chicago because Chicago is
Girl,
like my home base. So I'm like, let
yes,
me
I
bring it
love.
home for a
No
second.
shit, Chicago's lit.
And I love
Everyone has a
Chicago.
good ass time over there,
Mhm.
so that one will be great, and you can actually meet fans over there, so that'll
Yeah.
be lit. You should post about it a lot,
Oh, I
like
will,
a
yeah. I've
lot, lot.
actually just been in contact with them to get the booth because 'cause I'm like, "How who
Mm,
the fuck do I contact about this?" But
yeah.
then I asked my agent, and he pointed
Ooh,
me.
you can have well, I'm sneaky.
I'm
So you
sneaky.
can get like little baggies on Amazon, right? Get peonies, do
Mhm.
whatever you want with them, or you can do it in front of them at the
Yeah.
convention,
I
whatever.
think they allow it,
Bag
like,
them. Well, but you can like bag them, put photos and
cute little
shit and
business
sell
card
them.
shit,
Yes, girl.
stickers.
Money.
Yeah.
Photo, you can blow up photos, you can get a banner. Oh, you're gonna look great.
I'm
Yes.
I'm gonna love it. I love, like, the marketing shit, like, that shit's fun to
It's
me, and
so
I
fun.
haven't really had an event where I met my fans like that, so I feel like I owe them one because I didn't go to AVN this year, I didn't
Oof.
go to
I
any
didn't
of
go to
that.
AVN either, but I will suggest you should.
I should
It's
have, but I had a
it's like
conflict of interest. I
oh
was on
no,
a
you
vacation.
gotta go when it's like you got everything figured out and it's
Mhm.
locked in and don't over stress it. There's a lot of events, but you obviously don't have to go to all of them. And I feel like that's where everyone like loses their mind because they're like, I'm gonna go
Oh,
sign
this,
today and
this,
meet
this.
fans, and then I'm gonna go to dinner with all that, and then I'm gonna go to makeup and go to the award show, and then
Mhm.
it's a lot.
And I think that's why I strayed away from it. For one, I
Yeah.
hate crowds. Like that's I just hate crowds.
Really? Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to be in a certain mind space,
Mm-hmm.
and to do that for multiple days
Yeah.
was just gonna be a lot for me.
The cool thing is though, if you're like diehard fans, they come.
Mhm.
So like my fans brought me acid. Like
Holy
it was like
shit!
awesome. It was like, yeah, it was really
Those
cool.
are some good
No, it
fans.
was like what's funny is I was at my booth and I hear Adrian. That was my porn name before I changed it. And they're like, Adrian, and I was like, is someone saying my name? And they're like people around me like, are they saying your name? And it walked into Hispanic dudes and they look like hippies and shit. And they were like, hey, and I was like, my dudes. And they were like, we got you acid. I was like,
Oh.
put it in my mouth. Yeah, that was I shouldn't have taken it, but I
Yeah,
did,
you
and
know
it
what?
was
Fuck
fun.
it. You were in
Yeah,
a
so
controlled-ish
you
environment. Like you have
yeah,
people around
I was
you.
Adriana. I can do whatever I
I can
want
do
then.
whatever you want.
So I would go to AVN. It's super fun.
Next year, my friend told me he said this year would have been your year, and I'm like, no, I thought this year was light. Now
No,
this
it's
year,
got to be when you're ready.
like
Yeah,
this year, even just
yes.
the 2 months that started this
And
year, I'm
you
ready.
can make like DVDs of your scenes and sell them.
Oh, that would be such a cute idea. I had not thought of
Yeah,
that
you can
either.
literally get.
And you can do like the
I'll hook
cover
you up
piece and
with a
stuff.
number. I'll hook you.
Oh, I would actually love that. Please and thank
Mhm.
you.
Absolutely. Because I think you don't even have to have your own production company, honestly. Like,
No.
it's so easy. Like, and fans are down. Like, you can sell all
Yeah.
types of stuff. What has been one of the most shocking things that you've been able to make money off of? Like, for
Um,
some people, it's like socks, you know, but
the weirdest is probably just like panties. I also have a lot of
yeah.
it's weird to me. When I go to the post office and I'm mailing panties, I'm like, I wonder if these post office workers know that I'm mailing panties type shit. That's what I think of, but I think it's just
I think they
hilarious.
do.
They
I feel
definitely
like they
I feel
scan it and
like
they're like, that's the panty
they
girl.
or they open it because they're like, what is she in here in that white envelope mailing every fucking week? And then
Right,
they just
right.
know.
Well, and I always have it's always the same thing. Mine's a manila envelope
Mhm.
and it's written the same way. I have a label thing. And
Yeah,
I'm like, I know they know. Because
they
one
fucking
time I had to
know.
get one of them back because I like messed something up and they gave it back
Yeah.
in a different envelope. And I was
Yeah, they're definitely opening them.
like,
Postal workers are nosy as fuck.
no, they have to be because there's been a couple of times, they go missing and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you're like,
My poor grandma likes to send me money in the mail. I've never received that money. The envelope is always open. Every Christmas she sends it to me. I've never once received the cash. It's always open,
oh,
just the card. And
grandma.
then she asked me, "Did
Oh,
you receive it?" And I'm like, "Yep,
sure
grandma.
did.
Yep, I did."
Thank you. Oh,
Love her
nightmare.
so much.
Oh, Cassie, do you have any work that you've done that you're going to be dropping soon that you want to give a shout out to?
Um, Honestly, I've worked with Zaddy 2 times, my favorite, recently, and we just dropped a
Yeah.
few scenes. Other than that, that's really it. Like,
Yeah.
I drop it as I film type shit. I don't like to sit on
Oh,
content.
really?
I hate sitting on content.
So you have a good Rolodex, if you
I
will.
do have a pretty good
Yes.
Rolodex.
Guys, this is great. Okay, so what are the sites that we could follow you on to like see content? Which ones do you have?
I have OnlyFans and I have ManyVids. I have
Perfect.
Fansly and
Love
Loyal
it.
Fans, but I just haven't capitalized on them yet.
Right,
So
right. But
not a lot of content.
they're
on
in the
there.
works, but
They're in
that's
the
fine.
works.
Well, and Loyal Fans really is the one to just it's like many vids almost. You just sell videos, like so that's not too
Yeah,
bad.
it wouldn't be terrible. It's just going
But
through that process. You know how
no,
it
but
is.
it's good actually that you're even considering working on it,
I think
'cause
just as a backup because not that
yeah,
I ever pursue
yeah.
getting deleted from OnlyFans,
Right, right.
knock
Literally,
on wood.
please something.
But
Save us.
if that were to happen, and I've had friends that's happened to, and they don't have anything set up,
Yeah,
you feel like you're drowning.
yeah,
So I think
yeah.
just to have that set up, so you would never have to be reliant
Thank
on
you.
just one platform, because it's a scary thing.
Yes, and it's the same thing with girls who only do like mainstream work. I'm like, you
Mhm.
got to do something else. You really got to. OnlyFans threatened us a couple of years ago. Some people don't remember because they weren't on there, but they threatened us a couple of years ago. So that's when like a lot of girls were like, oh, I should probably like get my shit together because And it kind of blew my mind because we were all mainstream, so I didn't
Mhm.
understand them not understanding we should definitely have different avenues.
Yeah.
Because OnlyFans blew up. Have you gotten any kickback from your new sexy career?
Oh yes, lots of kickback. I come from a very, very small town, middle of nowhere, Illinois. And when one person finds out, everyone finds
Yeah.
out. So I think January of last year is when I got a text from my sister and she said, insert government name, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, either you tell mom and dad or I'm gonna tell them. And I'm
Yeah.
very much a type where if I'm not ready, I
Yeah.
cannot have that conversation
Yeah.
because it blew up faster than what I thought. It was like 3 months in, this was happening. So it blew up way
Yes.
faster than I thought. Then my ex found out that same fucking day. I'm like, where am I trending right now?
I'm
Like,
not kidding. You're giving me war flashbacks right
it's
now.
PTSD,
Yeah, I
right?
swear to God, I'm
Fuck.
like, that's exactly how it happened to me. My sister called me and was like, I'm gonna send you something. And I was like, uh-oh. And then an hour later, my ex called me and was like, I'm gonna send you something. And I was like, they're
Damn,
both coming.
I know.
They know.
And I was in Vegas at the time. I'll never
Me
forget.
too.
We
I
lived
was
the
in
same life.
Vegas.
We lived the same life. And I was with this guy and I was shooting and he saw me having a mental breakdown because I'm very calculated. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like
Yeah, you're
I had
like,
accounted for
holy
everyone
fuck.
knowing, but like then it was
Right,
happening.
right,
So
right.
now everyone knows. I'm like, fuck, I don't care.
Right. And you're a year and a half past.
Mhm.
You're booming. Your career's taking off. Is it worth it?
100%.
Oh my gosh, guys. I obviously love Cassie. You know it. I am Adriana Maya. This is fucking Cassie Lenoir. This is Spliffs and Giggles brought to you by the Red Eye District. Good night, guys.